Audio check, 1, 2, 3. Audio check. Audio check. Welcome back to the Motive Racing channel for another season of racing here in the GTE Championship. We are here at Dubai Autodrome GP circuit tonight for the opening round of the season. We've got a little bit of practice going on in front of you just at this particular moment in time. These guys warming themselves up and getting ready for what is sure to be an action-packed thriller of an opener to the season as our staple championship here, the GTEs at Motive Racing. It has been pretty much the constant in our Project Cars 2 leagues over the past 4 seasons. Currently going into our 5th season here. Unprecedented. Could never have imagined it back in March when this all started out, but very proud to see where this league has come in this time. Over 25,000 views on YouTube, over 313 subscribers on the dot actually as of this time in recording, and over 400 members on Discord. So Massive thank you to the community who make this what it is. But we currently got a few guys out on track at the moment here in this free practice session. 7 guys out on track at the moment. We're expecting a full grid of 16 once we do get underway for the sprint race. But before that, we will have a qualifying session to determine the grid order. However, this will be a one-off this week. Oh, as we see Fury getting a little bit sideways there as he runs into the back of DJ Phil. Thankfully, those guys not coming to blows too heavily in that particular instance. But yeah, this week's going to be a little bit of a different one compared to the other races that we're going to have this season. For round 1, we're going to have a brief 10-minute qualifying session to determine the grid order before the sprint race. Now this will differ from rounds 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in that those rounds after this one will actually be in reverse grid order based on the championship standings. So pretty much we flip the championship standings on their head, and that will be the grid order for the sprint race from rounds 2 to 6. However, for this first race, just to get the ball rolling, we're going to have a qualifying session to figure that all out. But it's going to throw an extra element into the mix for the remainder of this season, and hopefully provide some of the best racing action out on track. And you guys are all part of it, watching live on the Motive Racing channel. If you like what you see here on the channel, then don't be shy to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. And we're currently now just half an hour away from the start of the first qualifying session of the season, and we're just seeing a flash of the lights there from Fury as he crosses the line. Currently sat second at the moment in this free practice session, 9/10 of a second off of that fastest time being set by Zande. Now we did see the only G set at 1 minute 54.1 before leaving the session, so technically the time to beat at the moment, 1:54.1. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to be seeing times dipping into the 1 minute 53s. I'm not actually certain of what sort of lap times we were seeing from these guys a couple of seasons ago. I know we did race at Dubai a couple of seasons back, but I'm not 100% on what times we're expecting. I'm going to just have a quick look back actually and see what lap times the guys were getting a couple of seasons ago. A very, very different but very different field of drivers 2 seasons ago. We've got a lot of new faces on the grid as of now, so let's have a look and see actually, because I'm quite intrigued to see how the lap times compare to what we saw a couple of seasons ago. Here we go. So we got Tier 1, Project Cars 2, Motive Racing GTE Championship. Let's have a look and see what these guys were doing a couple of seasons ago. See what the pole time was. So pole time a couple of seasons ago was actually a 1 minute 52 for Archil. So that was pretty outstanding. Archil, some of you guys may know him on the PlayStation 4 platform, probably one of the quickest guys, full stop. Aside from Archil, we saw JR Lock and Load in the 1 minute 53s. Mida Peanut was in the 1 minute 53s as well, and so was Bruce AFC. So back in the day, that was the sort of standard that we were expecting. That was what we were getting. So potentially we might be seeing some guys in the 53s tonight, maybe even a 52 if the Only G is really on fire. But certainly we're looking forward to seeing how these guys get on. As we see Fury coming over the line, looks like he can't improve that time around, so he stays P2. Emo guys in the pits, currently sat 3rd at the moment in this practice session. Got Camber currently going round in P4 at the moment. DJ Phil sat in the pits. We've got Smoky Devil driving around in the number 6 Corvette C7, and that's me there. That's me in the pits. I'm not racing, in case you hadn't realised. I want to say a big warm welcome to all of the guys watching live on the YouTube stream at the moment, live on the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We will be going very shortly over to a new stream in about 5 or 10 minutes time, which will have the coverage from the Tier 1 race of the GTE Championship tonight, the opening round here at Dubai Autodrome GP. Massive thank you to all the guys returning on the YouTube channel once again for another season. As we see, we've just had a couple of guys jump in the lobby. It looks like we've had Ogbar, the Flying Dutchman, join us. Ogbar's our the Flying Dutchman, as I said, and he's our LMP2 coordinator here at Motive Racing. Also races regularly week in, week out in the GTEs and the GT3s, and is an admin on the Discord as well. He's our head steward, oversees a lot of the decisions relating to on-track incidents. Obviously, if he's involved in the incident, and it has to be overseen by either myself, the only G, or as of today, this man here, Emo Guy, who seems to be in the pits at this particular point, but he is a new addition to the staff team here at Motive Racing, and we are delighted to induct him to the roster. But he's currently sat in the pits. We'll properly introduce him once the qualifying gets underway in around 10 minutes. Well, no, not 10 minutes. It'll be about 25 minutes time. But the stream should be getting underway in about 10 minutes time, and then there'll be a countdown before that obviously gets underway. But yeah, big thank you to everybody who's joining us live on the stream. Make sure you stick around. We'll be on for that pretty soonish. Fury currently out there on a lap time. We're approaching the tail end of this practice session now. Still Zande with the top time, but obviously we've got to take into account that G did a 1 minute 54.1 before departing the session to get the stream set up. Oh no, this is just a practice session. It's independent of the actual race session. I know I'm doing a separate stream for the practice because we're not doing Tier 2 this season, so I thought why not do a televised practice. Fill the gap. Oh shit! I mean, goodness me. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Forgot I was on the stream. All right, I'll see you in a moment. All right. So yeah, we just had a team radio there from the Flying Dutchman, otherwise known as Ugbar, saying that apparently his G29 is having issues starting up, so fingers crossed he can get that all in order before we get going for the qualifying session. Otherwise he will have to be racing on the DualShock 4, which we know he is very accustomed to. He raced on the DualShock for many years actually before switching to a G29. Was one of the faster guys on the pad as well. It was always by no end impressed at the skill and precision that that man had racing on the controllers. We see Fury currently going around the track, also another user of the DualShock 4. He's currently going around the middle part of the lap, currently second in this practice session. One of 3 men to dip into the 1 minute 54s tonight, the other 2 being the only G and KRBR Zande. G departed the session a little while ago with the top time of 1 minute 54.1. Current gauntlet being set down by the reigning champion, the only G. Is on a hat-trick this season. We're talking about him despite him not being in the room. I can't believe it. G, how has this happened? How am I talking about you when you're not even in here? I don't know. But yeah, the only G going into this season. Won a hat-trick in the GTEs. He's won it twice already, and he's looking to make it 3 championships this season. So good luck to him in his endeavours with that one. But I'm sure he'll face a stiff test from guys like Zande and Fury. And we've also heard reports this season that Flaky, well, we know that Flaky is going to be racing in the GTEs this season. Flaky, if you didn't know, raced with us in season 1 quite a while ago now actually, and he's got bags of pace. He races in the LMP2s as well. We saw him towards the tail end of last season giving Ben Parkey and Richie a good go in those races. As we see Fury coming over the line, he can't improve on his personal best. So I think that's going to be that in terms of this session. What's Emo Guy going to do here as he comes over the line? He can't improve either. He stays third. So Zande, Fury, Emo Guy, the top three. Camber, a little way off at the moment. Now, towards the end of last season, we saw Camber improving every single race. Towards the back end of last season, he was getting quicker and quicker. Managed to get bag a couple of podiums at Donington Park and Brands Hatch. So keep an eye on Camber, see how he starts off this season. He'll be looking to pick up where he left off. DJ Phil in the yellow BMW number 89 got promotion from Tier 2 last season. Did DJ Phil, did a fantastically consistent job. Was getting points in, I think, pretty much every single race. He had a DNF in one race at Spa, I believe, but apart from that, he had a pretty much flawless record, and it's great to see him back in the big time once again. Consistency really did pay off for this lad, and he's currently coming around the middle sector now, driving his customary yellow BMW. Smoky Devil also out there in the Chevy at the moment. He's just coming into the last turn now, and it looks like he goes a little bit deep into the final turn. That's not ideal at all for him. Gets onto the power coming out of the last corner now as he comes over the line. Let's see what it's going to be for him. He can't improve, stays P5 at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a big thank you to the 19 people watching us live on YouTube. Stay tuned, we'll be on our main stream very, very shortly for the Tier 1 GTE event here at Motive Racing. That was the practice session, free practice. Zande setting the pace, but G with a 1 minute 54.1 before leaving the session have set down the marker, guys. We will be back on very, very shortly for our main stream. Coming up in a moment. Yeah, and roger that.
Thank you.
Shoot.
What do I just say end here or say it at the end?
Yeah. What sort of thing were you thinking of?
Basically, there's like 3 race interviews.
Do you want to do one now, just for like the giggles?
Yeah, why not? No.
Shall we? We might as well. We could talk about the admin stuff. Do you know? That's a good idea. I mean, something.
Yeah.
We'll let the sort of order be the backdrop. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to grab a quick chat with one of our regular drivers in the Tier 1 GTEs. We will need to be aware of it because no one's been able to find you. I had the same problem earlier on. Here we go, guys. So I'm joined in the commentary box at the moment by Ian. Obviously in preparation for tonight's event, Ian, looking pretty good in the timing sheets so far. We saw that 1 minute 55.3. We also know that you are, I believe you're driving the Ferrari this season, back to your roots, what we saw in season 1. How's that going for you, and what is your expectations going into this season?
Well, I've done some testing with the Ferrari. I wasn't necessarily going to go with the Ford that I've been in for the past few seasons, but I've just been feeling a lot more comfortable in the Ferrari. to have. It's going around the corners a lot quicker. It's sticking to the ground a lot more. Hopefully it could be the car that will carry me to close to or to the championship trophy.
Well, we obviously hope that you can give G a good run for his money, because the last couple of seasons he has taken the championship in each and the double champion of the GTE division here at Motive Racing. Obviously last season you were slightly compromised due to a few issues in your personal life, which I'm not going to go into without obviously your explicit consent, but just to kind of get an idea of what this sort of are we sort of expecting this season to be a clear run at maybe getting some points on the board? Are these issues now sort of put to one side, and how confident are you that you do have what it takes to consistently put in the on track to bring it on the track? That's what I was trying to say.
Well, given any possible things that may come up in my personal life in the future, it shouldn't affect my ability to try and put as many points onto the board as possible. So I'm feeling hopeful for this season compared to last season, and I'm just looking to go out there and put as much of a good fight up as possible. That's
brilliant news. Obviously, Ian was our tier 2 champion in the Clios a couple of seasons ago. You know what it takes to win a championship. He got the championship in a last round decider with Nathan Rutter, I believe. Is that right, Ian? Was that?
Yeah, it was. We were at Monza, obviously, as we do every season for the finale.
Tradition.
And yeah, and me and Nathan were fighting out for the championship, and we both finished in a lower end of the field, and we both finished in the same, like I said, at the bottom, near up the middle of the field, and it all came down to that the finish. We waited for the standings to come out. And it turned out Ali was able to take the championship by a whole of 1 point.
Yeah, I remember there was a little bit of confusion in the build-up. People weren't quite sure who had got the championship, but in the end, you took it. I think I remembered it to be on. I thought it was on first places, but if you're right, and it was on 1 point, then that might be the case. But I know it was incredibly nail-biting nonetheless. But yeah.
Yeah, but I believe that whole 1 point came from me having the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, so it was actually from that final race. You got that lap in towards the end of the race. Yeah, I seem to remember now. But that's it. Well, guys, what we're going to do now, anyway, because that was the free practice session, we are actually going to switch over to our main stream. So we're going to wrap things up here over on this free practice stream. Guys, if you liked what you saw, then make sure you drop a like on this video, and obviously stay tuned. Ian, you're going to be out on track for the practice session in this one. Hopefully we'll see you getting some good points tonight, possibly a podium and maybe even a victory, who knows. Obviously you've been putting in the work and you seem pretty close to the pace, so best of luck with it all. Hopefully we'll be chatting to you at the end of the race.
Yeah, let's hope so, and I'll try and put in the best shows possibly can.
Good luck, champ.
Thank you very much.
Oh, send the stream.